It is now very clear that the Chicago Bears are in the market for an edge rusher. This coming after Matthew Judon got traded to the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears were runner-ups to get him. So let's talk about this, people. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, hit that subscribe button down below, people. Best way to support the channel. You don't want to miss out. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video as well. So as mentioned, we now have confirmation that Ryan Poles, he's looking for that edge rusher to pair next to Montez Sweat, all right? The negotiations for Matthew Judon basically came out, and the Chicago Bears were the runner-ups to get him. He went to the Falcons because that's who the Patriots decided to trade him to, but the Bears were right there as the next team in line to get him. Now, according to the reports, the reason why the Falcons went with the Patriots went with the Falcons over the Bears is because they believe that the Falcons will have a worse record, and so that means a better pick. But the Bears actually also offered a third-round pick. I was shocked by this, okay? I couldn't believe it. I thought Ryan Poles gave up a fourth or something like that, but no, it was a third-round pick, the same that Atlanta offered, but the Patriots went with the Falcons because, again, they thought that the Falcons might have a worse record than the Bears. All right, so now we know, hey, Ryan Poles is edge hunting. So what does this mean now as far as who does he go ahead and turn around and put his sights on next, okay? And there's no, like, clear option out there. Obviously, people are going to bring up Haason Reddick with the Jets, who has requested a trade, but the Jets came out and said they're not trading him. And I don't think they will, and I don't think they're budging, and I think Haason Reddick is going to be extremely expensive. All right, so to me, he's not really a realistic option. And to me, really out there as far as guys that, you know, are game changers, there's not one that's like readily available that it's like, oh, go ahead and pounce on that guy. But there's some names to keep an eye out for, all right? A couple of the names that you can look at. Obviously, Khalil Mack with the Chargers, right? Maybe a reunion with the Bears wouldn't be, you know, the worst thing in the world, bringing him back, all right, depending on the price tag for that. And then what about his counterpart on the Chargers with Joey Bosa? Would the Chargers be looking to offload one or either of them? Okay, then obviously we have DeMarcus Lawrence. The Cowboys have a lot of contract situations to work through with Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Like, will they have enough money left over to even fulfill what DeMarcus Lawrence wants? So he's a name to keep an eye on. What about Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals, right? He's one of the better edge rushers. He's one of the better edge rushers out there. Why don't you poke around with the Bengals, see if he's available, see what the price tag is? It doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and call. And I'm sure Ryan Poles does that all the time. And then Josh Sweat is another name that's out there. So I think there are names out there that you can go ahead and inquire about. Nobody's, like I said, readily available, but you go ahead, you make the phone call, you see what it is, and you see what the price tag is. So to me, I believe Ryan Poles is going to be working the phones here. There's obviously guys like Yannick Ngakoue that are always going to be able on the free agent market for, you know, cheaper than you would, that are going to be cheaper than what the price tag is for these guys, but they're obviously not as good. So to me, here is what I believe happens, okay? I believe Ryan Poles goes ahead and sees what else is out there before the season starts, but ultimately my prediction is I don't think we trade for a pass rusher before the season starts, and then let's see how the Bears play. Let's let a couple games play out. And by week 4, 5, 6, you see how the Bears are looking. You see if the pass rush really does need some help, if it is really struggling. And at that time, you know, prior to the trade deadline, you pounce on somebody and you know, obviously give up a pick and some compensation to get them. But if the Bears are, you know, 4-1 or, you know, have a solid record and they're doing pretty well, maybe they're fine without signing an edge. And hey, Austin Booker's looking like a stud. Maybe he fills in and becomes that edge rusher opposite Montez Sweat. So there's a lot of different options at play here, a lot of different things that could happen. I would take the wait and see approach unless an offer is out there that you can't pass up on. But I don't see that happening. I think it's going to cost you a pretty penny to get any one of these players that I mentioned. And Ryan Poles, we know he's willing to, you know, pay somewhat of a price, right? A third-round pick he offered for Matthew Judon. But I personally think they should take the wait and see approach, and I think that's what they will do. I don't think they're going to be, jumping at anything and just willing to give away our draft pick. So that's what I believe happens. I think based on the Bears and how they do during the early part of the season will drive whether or not they go ahead and trade for one of these bigger names. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and get a guy like Ngakoue back in here and just, have him kind of be that option B, C, if you will. All right, so let me know what you guys think about that. Who would you guys like to see the Bears go after on the edge market? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.